Hello, this is Kevin with Bangert Inc., and today we're going to be taking a look at the new features that were added in the BidMetrics release 3.3 that was released the other day. This session is going to focus on the scope management and bid leveling and how they've changed the item supplements and the clarifications for, better visibility and so forth in my BidMetrics. So let's get started. Currently, I'm sitting in a concrete metrics, and I've got some footings and slab breakdowns and so forth, and some different bidders that have given me some prices and so forth, and all that's pretty much the same. But where the differences start to come into the new version is in the past, we used to click on these three dots, you'd see supplement, and a little window would pop up where you would actually tell it what items you wanted to add to that supplier's scope to make it more complete. Now what it does is the system actually opens up the grid and actually lets you see your detailed line items from within your estimate right below it. So there was my slabs, and it's basically opened it up where I can see the supplements in more of a grid. So instead of just seeing one window of one sub and one window with another sub, it makes it very visible that I can see all of them. Now, the other way that you can get there is, instead of clicking on the three dots and going to supplements, you can actually just hit the little arrow there to the side and open it up, and you can see, here's my initial bid, here's my item supplements, and here's any additional supplements that I've got at the moment. So right now, my initial bid is basically just the bids that I put in for each one of the subs at the moment. If I open up the supplements, I can see here's what was in my estimate as far as my budget goes. And then basically if they included it, so I'm going to say that this one here has included both of them. So I'm just going to hit the little plus where if I want to go through there and say, well, maybe this one did not include this one or something of that nature, and this one here did not include this one, or whatever the case may be. So, that makes it a lot more viewable on seeing how that scope compares from one sub to another also. It is also very powerful in the fashion of you can also now override these numbers for a particular sub if I needed to also. So if for some reason, maybe I felt that River didn't include this section entirely, but I didn't want to necessarily put the full 15 thou on or something of that nature, I could come back and put on a different value at that particular point in time also. So that way it'll still kind of do a minus that it's not included or that they excluded it from the bid and so forth, but I could see that number breakout in my listing and so forth. Very nice over just the little window that we used to have and so forth that just let me, kind of check a box of whether that was included or not included. Now I get a very nice, visibility of what's in there and the ability to really flag whether that's included in the scope or not included in the scope and things of that nature. And there again, I could still kind of roll it up if I don't want to see the details. So, I could start to see that my initial bid was 19,000. I've added 15,000 more to this bid because of those supplement items. And I could see that now I'm up to $34,000, which took me from the low to, one of the higher ranges and so forth. Now, the other thing that's kind of been modified with these drill down abilities is you still also have the additional supplements. So that's basically where you've always been able to go back and add some sort of other dollar amounts to these for some reason. So if for some reason, maybe this one included, didn't include something, I could still come back and add, dollars for whatever reason for, even if it wasn't one of my item supplements that I was going to add. Now, in addition to that, right now at the moment, that's all you see is initial bid, item supplements, and additional supplements. Let's talk a little bit about clarification. So clarifications has always been where I could also add more, additional dollars to someone's bid because maybe they didn't have one of our clarifying items. So let's take this concrete testing, for example. So I'm going to just focus on slabs for a moment. So I'm going to go back and say that this one here did not include the concrete testing. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to say supplement $200. And, we've always had down here where, I could go back and look at the supplement so I can see what I've added to it. I also get the little up arrow to let me know that I've added something to that particular bidders list and so forth. And I can see up here that I've got a little up arrow to, let me know there again that I've got some dollars being added to their bid. But it was a little bit difficult to tell what I've added to that bid. So that's the other thing that's kind of nice about here is now that I've got some clarifications, you'll notice that I've got a new heading here that gives me my clarification detail. So I can tell that I've added $200 to this bidder, but maybe I haven't added 200 to these other two yet or anything like that. And there again, if I open it up, I can see concrete testing is why I was adding, $200 to it. Or maybe if I wanted to go back here and say, let's say slabs again, and let's say I'm going to add, just something in there for cleanup or something of that nature. And now you'll notice that I've got both, testing and cleanup. So there again, when I'm looking at this, total dollars, so if I collapse all that, when I'm looking at that total dollars, it really gives me the viewability of, what's included in that. Because in the past, we could see what somebody bid as a total, but I'd have to go back and look at supplements to see what line items they included or didn't include. And then we'd have to come down here and see, whatever money. So these little arrows to be able to drill down in a section and really see, yep, there's what I put in for the initial bid. Here's what all the different supplement items add up to be. Here's what in there the clarification, breakdowns add up to be. Here's any other additional, line items that I've added to it for some reason to come up with that big picture. So that's one of the biggest changes with the 3.3 is really getting a lot better viewability of these numbers when I'm getting into adding these item supplements and clarification supplements to the bid. Thanks for watching.